Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included. This is episode number 2 in our new series, and we are just on cycle number 4, about to come up on cycle number 5 of our first week in this colony. We have just gotten our source of fresh water completed. We have a little mine down here, which is excellent, and some sources of algae that we need to get this algae off the ground yesterday because of how important it is to us. Oops, that's mop. And also, we are ever expanding here. When the next replicant is offered to us, duplicant rather, we will definitely take it right away. Also, our first ever research has just completed, so let's see what our new buildings are. We can now build a compost heap, which we are absolutely going to do. This will allow us to convert our polluted dirt that we get as a side effect of the outhouse into compost, or rather into fertilizer, which we can use for plants later on, although not at the earliest parts of the game. Ooh, and we need to get an algae terrarium down here now, which is fortunately one of the other things we can now build right here, the algae terrarium. So we want one over here where people are, oh shit, this is exactly what I was afraid of. God damn. Okay, pause. Remember last episode when I talked about how this oxalite was going to pop, and when it did, all this carbon dioxide was going to try and flow into our base? Yeah. So let's go ahead and immediately patch this up. We're going to put it at a priority 9. We just froze time, so they should immediately do that. Great. And also, let's get these algae terrariums down as soon as possible, because this is not good. We need to nip this in the bud. We do not want carbon dioxide to get out of hand, because until we get fairly far into our research, it's going to be kind of a thorn in our side. Also, these algae terrariums are really not great for oxygen generation, and are really great for wasting a ton of your algae. Fortunately, I think we can get by with just the 3 of these. I don't think we need one in here. I think the carbon dioxide should slip out and be handled everywhere else. But let's also use that priority button and put the construction of these things all at priority 9. Because we need that carbon dioxide out of here like yesterday. Okay, now we will also go ahead and build the tile out down here. We're going to mine the rest of this out, and we're going to move all of our storage down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 should do it for now, and we'll want to have room for more expansion to the right. If we need to do much more power stuff, we can always go right this way. We have a ton of good space, although we'll want to be careful of the slime since it can produce polluted oxygen, as you can see here. For now, though, I think we're good to expand to the right without worrying, and we can use this left-hand side for getting all this storage moved. Once one of these is done, great, one is, we can copy the settings down to them. Let's get those 3 copied, and we can deconstruct these suckers. Once they deconstruct, it's just going to dump everything on the ground, which is a huge pain in the ass, but they'll get everything moved back and forth eventually. Alright, you can see we're pumping out oxygen from our algae deoxidizer, which is awesome. We have a high concentration of oxygen, which is vital in this area where we're using a lot, especially because we're building, but also because we have the manual generator here. This little, that little hamster wheel. That thing obviously produces a good amount of carbon dioxide and uses a lot of oxygen because people are running around on it. Alright, let's copy these settings. Sorry, couldn't find what I was looking for. Onto the rest of our storage containers, and voila! We've moved storage and also made room for another cot should we so need. Everything is looking good pretty much everywhere else. Water source, good. Compost should start once we have enough polluted dirt. Let's think about what we want to expand into next while we pick our next research. I'm thinking liquid piping for sure, because I want that sanitation research. Also, we need to start getting people making food. We do not have enough consistent lice to make lice loaf. However, mush bars only take dirt and water. We can definitely do that. I love the food that they make in this game. Mush bar, an edible putrefied mud slop. Mush bars are preferable to starvation, but only just barely. Its quality is grisly. Side effects may cause diarrhea. Lovely. That's definitely the exclusive thing we'll have our colonists eat from now on. Also, I always miss this. You need to make sure this is set to accept everything. Oh, what have I done? And I just dumped everything on the floor. You need to make sure that the ration box is set to accept everything that you updated as you discover new foods, or they will not store food, which is not good. Everything is looking good besides that for the most part, though. Next thing we'll want to look at is probably planter boxes for sure. And for the planter boxes, we're going to want to build out a little bit more. We're going to want to do another floor where we'll put all the planters because they are ugly, apparently. I don't know why plants are considered ugly in this, but they really hurt your decor. At least a lot of different kinds of plants do. I guess some of them probably don't, but pretty much everything I've wanted to use for food hugely brings down the decor value. So we'll try and keep that away from like where the colonists spend most of their time. For now, let's build some tiles. We're going to want to go 1, 2, 3, 4 down. I like to build these 3 high. Gives the colonists enough room, and most buildings can fit in 3 high. I may regret that later on, but we'll see. For now, I think we're okay. And we'll build out this way. And I think that should be good here. There should be enough space for the plants we're starting out with. In fact, we'll even put a seal on it. Or do we need an airlock? It's probably not worth putting an airlock in here quite yet, because we don't want to have to pump even more oxygen this way. Thinking about it, though, I kind of wish I had moved my algae deoxidizer down here. It's a pain because we'd have to run power down here, but we have a lot of, like, oxygen rises, so it'd be better to have it at the very bottom. I think we're okay. It's dense enough in here that it's getting pushed down regardless. You got to think about fluid dynamics a lot in this, which can kind of be... I mean, it's simplified, obviously, but you still like have to keep it all in mind because you need to make sure that the air is in the right places. A lot, you'll find, like, oh, all my oxygen's in the top side, so every time they go to the bottom, they're holding their breath, which you really want to avoid. Also, there's more carbon dioxide down here, but it should be getting eaten up by this algae terrarium. Oh, shit. Somebody just pissed all over the floor. Pardon my language, sorry. This is really bad. You need to immediately clean this up. If you don't... which fortunately it's always a priority 9, I think. If you don't, it produces polluted oxygen, and also it can cause your colonists massive amounts of stress. They get the wet feet debuff, and it can really, what's the word, snowball, which is no good. Oh yeah, I should probably mark this to dig out so they can actually reach the rest of these build requests. And we have another colonist. Great. Let's get our next duplicant. Hopefully we have some decent options. Irritable bowel, not that big of a deal. Later on we'll need another toilet though. Definitely not going to take flatulence. That's the worst. Never take someone with flatulence. Also, her stats do not make up for 3 whatever. Dimensionally inept, can't build, and has 2 points in construction and 8 in creativity. That's garbage. We're taking Otto here. Otto's legit. He's irritable bowel is something I can deal with. Bladder efficiency minus 50%, fine. Or minus 0.50. Same difference, I guess. I guess it depends. I don't know if 1 is a baseline bladder efficiency. So, yeah, we're gonna dig all this out, build out this room, put down planters. However, we also need to harvest all these plants. So, and we'll also want to sweep all this up before it all gets eaten. Why are you guys not picking up? Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna... Oh, good, they're grabbing it. We're gonna cancel that. We're gonna say sweep, because this has been like 3 cycles since I marked that for pickup. I'm gonna do a priority 9 sweep. Get this algae out of here, stat. Here we go, Otto. Otto. No? Nobody respects the priority 9, you guys. Did I make this stuff priority 9? I guess sweeping can't really have priorities, even though it shows it does. That's annoying. I guess it's just not as important. Ah, well. Oh, do I not have it? Am I an idiot? Do I not have anywhere that accepts algae? So, remember I was talking before about how settings are not automatically applied to stuff you've newly discovered, and you should always check in? Forgot that I hadn't discovered algae at the beginning of the game. The reason they haven't picked that up? There's nowhere they can store it. I've forbidden them from storing it anywhere. Great. Well, that's a good visualization of how much algae we have left. It's a good thing we're digging this area out as well. Also, let's get rid of these ugly... We don't need this anymore. And we do, however, need a temporary ladder here. I think that should be high enough, because I want to get that little piece of algae there. It's bugging me. Besides that, we're looking pretty good. Let's cancel this pointless sweep request. I don't see any pea laying around anywhere, which is always nice. Oh god, we need to get some research going. Sorry, I've been delaying really unnecessarily. Liquid piping is well and done. Let's get sanitation going, and also take a look at what we've got unlocked from liquid piping. A lot of really cool stuff, I'm sure. I actually really like the way that liquid systems, I guess, work in this game. And once we get sanitation, we can put it to work. However, just to start out, let's go ahead and... Oh, we need to build out the rest of this tile. The way that piping and wiring works in this game, the reason this is all nice and neat is because I put down the tile. If you don't run wire and stuff through tile, it destroys the block that is underneath it, so it just, like, there's nowhere to stand. So you need to make sure you're running tile pretty much everywhere that you want to put down piping and wiring. And since we're going to definitely run both here, we'll need to make sure we account for that. Trying to think what the best way to run power over here is. I really don't like the location of these ladders, but we're going to have to just run the power line across it. It is what it is. Let's just start doing that now. We'll have this come over here. And I don't really see a reason this needs to follow this exactly. We'll just put the pump in the corner. Oh, but we don't want to do that because we need the pump way down here. That's fine. Is it fine? It's not fine, you guys. We're running it up. Because I don't want to bust through these walls. What was I just talking about? Take my own advice. Okay, we're going to run this like this. And then we need our pump, which is plumbing. I was really intimidated by a lot of this, but they did a really good job of just making everything really very simple, which I really appreciate. Klei has a way of doing that with their games. So the pump, you can see here how input and output and intake work. So you want green to go to white, to go to green, to go to white. So here, this green, we're going to run along here. We'll run our piping just in a straight line and then follow the shape of the building. And we're actually going to run this piping directly over here because this is the first place we're going to want to have the refinement stuff because we want to put down our plumbed toilets and all that. We'll expand this whole area and replace the outhouse, and it's going to be great. And now we're prepared for it. However, we also need to run power. So we'll grab this and pull it down. And you may not be able to tell this, but you actually have to, like, grab the existing wire where it sits and then drag it into another block. I could put two wires in squares next to each other, but they're not going to connect, and like you'll see here, they're not connected. But if I drag them, they do connect. So, which is actually kind of cool. So it's worth keeping that in mind when you're placing the wire and all that. What have I done? Oh, sweet baby Jesus, what have I done? I've made everything ugly and complicated, you guys. Help. We'll need to run the wire over here anyways. It's not that big a deal. There, now it's complete. And then we need to put down one pipe because I knocked that out like an idiot. Boom! Okay, everything should be connected as it needs to be. We are going to need to run power down here, though, as well, so we might as well get that started. Oop, that is not the electrical wire selector. Run this over here, and is my piping set to run over there? I think it is. No. Oh, yes? Oh, it's already placed. Sorry. It's really weird the way they do this. You can see the blueprints, but once the piping goes in, you can't see it anymore. And it works, but things get kind of complicated when you need to delete piping that's inside a wall or behind a building that also has cabling running on top of it. It's doable, but you guys will see. It's interesting. Here's where we're going to harvest most of our starting plants. It looks like we'll be going up there very soon. For now, though, I want to get this stuff plumbed. We're doing level 2 research now as well, which means we need the other research station, the supercomputer. There's not a great spot for this, so we'll just plop it down over here. And fortunately, we've already run power, so we just need to go boop and plug it in. I love the little outlet, even if it is kind of backwards. Outlet should be on the wall, not the computer, but whatever. So once this is done, we can get the rest of this research done. I'm guessing, yep, the novice research is all done. We need to do 10 intermediate research, though, which requires the supercomputer. And we should see someone start doing that research very soon. Also, we need to upgrade our power generation, probably next. That or, well, we'll see what our options are. That or maybe decor. Let's see how our stress is looking. Oh, snap, that reminds me. We actually have, we need to build a massage table like yesterday. There it is. We'll just plop it down right next to the food. And what the massage table does, fantastically, is it's an automated, like, karate chop massage machine. And when people get stressed, they'll just go lay in it. It's really nice for keeping stress levels low without having to actually decorate, which I hate doing. We may want to up our power generation sometime soon, too, but it looks like we're doing a good job with regulating all the gases for now, which is my #1 priority. There is a good amount of carbon dioxide down here, but the algae terrarium's absorbing. Let's see, you can see here, it's using 30 gallons a second of algae, 300 gallons a second, or grams, I don't know, of water, and then emitting a bunch of oxygen, but then it's consuming, most importantly, 333 milligrams per second of, or milligallons, I don't know, per second of carbon dioxide. That's what matters. Getting rid of that carbon dioxide. Soon, though, that won't matter. Once this research finishes, I'm pretty sure. Though we may need to do one more. Let's check really quick. R. Research. We are going to get showers, great. Hand sanitizer, garbage in my opinion. Lavatory, great. Air deodorizer, great. Oh, next we want percolation. That's going to give us the air scrubber. Actually, that or filtration. Maybe filtration would be better. Let's do filtration next, because that's going to give us the water purifier, which is really important, because then we may even wait to plumb till that finishes researching, to plumb all this, because then we can immediately filter, like, the output of the toilet as well as the output of the shower, and the air scrubber, for that matter, and put it right back into circulation, which is a great way to not have to replace your water sources all the time. That's what I did in my last colony, and I was really glad I had handled it that way. Also, we might as well expand this now since we're holding off on building it out. Let's, oop, don't want to do that. Let's put down some tile, and that should help make sure we have enough room, because all that toilet stuff is huge, actually. Probably because you have to run all the piping and electricity into it. Actually, maybe not electricity. That'd be kind of weird. It's my electric toilet. It's from Japan. Alright, we're looking great on storage, although I think that's partially because there's a whole shitload of crap just lying on the ground here. But that's okay. I think we are fine. They're going to mine this out eventually, although it doesn't seem to be a big priority. What are their priorities right now, I wonder? These pipes, that's what it is. I was trying to figure out, like, why they're ignoring all these dig orders. You'll notice that even though there is prioritization, it seems like if something like building pipes, digging, and, oh, I don't know, changing the compost are all rank 5, it'll go in the order of building, then compost, then digging, which is interesting. There's like a hidden priority, it feels like, within the priorities. But it's fine. I don't really care that much about the digging. Awesome, we finished our research. Let's immediately get started with filtration. Then we'll do percolation. Hell yeah. Also, aren't we about due for a replicant? Yeah, 0.3 cycles. Nice. Or a duplicant. Sorry, I keep thinking I'm in Blade Runner. I'm so excited for the new movie. What about you guys? I can't get it out of my head. Alright. Still looking good. We're not consuming too much water. Hopefully we get these pumps down pretty soon here. I hope it's not that we're running low on copper. That is a possibility. What is it? Awaiting material delivery, not awaiting copper. Okay, good. So we should have everything we need. We'll see, though. Also, we should really just mine this out to make a little path, and I will prioritize that because I feel like we need to be able to access that copper. I almost wonder if that's the copper that they're slating for use. And putting this at a priority 9 dig, though, should cause people, yes, to have it override pretty much everything else. I'm glad to see they're still researching. It's interesting how high of a priority gets put on researching, apparently more than food. But, yeah. Oh, yes, here's our, duplicant. Said it right this time. And what are our options? In the duplicant lottery. By the way, I think I forgot to build a cop for our last guy. Shit, I totally did. Whoops. Alright, well, anyways, let's go ahead and grab... Ooh, Ren seems pretty cool. I think Ren, he's buff and an interior decorator, and his only thing is he can't dig it, but he's got, like, strength and all this stuff. Yeah, dude, definitely. We're taking Ren. And we're going to build a bed for him right away, because, whoops. Let's see. Furniture. We need another cot here. And I kind of want to move this algae terrarium, but since they all sleep in here and these are temporary locations for the beds, we'll just put the other one over here. And I'm tempted to build another one, but we'll hold off for now. Let's see. Almost done with the liquid pump, it looks like. I think I'm going to up the priority on this work order, because even though they're giving it some level of prioritization. I feel like it should have been done like 3 cycles ago. Also, this digging should be higher priority. I'm pretty much ready to start doing this. Although there is one thing I didn't really think about. We got to figure out where we want to put our water purifier. Do we want to put it in the bathroom? Usually I run it like nearby, but not in it. Also, I need to know if this slime produces I don't know if it produces polluted oxygen. I think it does. Let's put down tiles here so that we don't get a ton of it coming in. Okay, we can dig all this out. We might actually have room to put the purifier, at least temporarily, in here. I mean, who cares? What's the side effect is just more... Oh, shit! More polluted oxygen. So, remember when I said how important it is not to let this stuff sit? Gotta pay attention. Some fucking duplicate just peed on the floor, and I don't know why. For Christ's sake. Like, we have a bathroom. Is it because it's full of oxygen and polluted oxygen and carbon dioxide? Should we use some of our other tools? I guess. Let's go ahead and put down an air purifier. That should help. Put one down over here. Look how impure all this air is. It's probably all from the leaking out from the bathroom. Okay. We're going to put down a bunch of deodorizers. These are nice because they don't use algae. It just uses some sand, and it will filter all of this bullshit polluted oxygen out of the air little by little. It does a really good job of regulating it, actually, for the most part, except in this room. But even in here, it's going to make a difference. You'll see. It's nice. Does it output oxygen as well? I think it does. I think it doesn't just consume it. I think it actually cleans it. Let's find out. Awaiting. Oh, it's waiting. It's medium. That's okay. We'll prioritize that. Delivery. Give me some sand in this thing, stat. Grossman, you got this. Yeah. All right, 100 kilograms of sand. This thing is now consuming polluted oxygen and outputting oxygen. Hooray! Anyways, you guys, we are actually a little bit over for this episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below so that I know. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.